everybody. Welcome to On Vogue's Pro Live series. I am Brooklyn. I've been in the industry for nearly 10 years using On Vogue products and educating with them for the past 5. I have my own academy. It is called Avant-Garde Academy, along with my team of fabulous instructors. My passion in the field has always been high quality nails. Shaping is a big one, and efficiency, because time is money. So today I'm going to be taking you through a technique I wish I knew way earlier in my career. It is your basic fill, but with no finish filing, so really making the most of our time in the salon space. I'll be using Simply Connect, Simply Build, and Medium Build and Blush, and Simply Shine Top Coat. So follow along and I'll be answering questions. Thank you for joining. Okay, so to start our no file fill, we're going to be working on the ring finger today. And as you can see, this client is about 3 weeks growth. So we're just going to be filling the area in here. I'm starting today with a safety bit. I prefer these because they have the smooth top, and it can be very helpful when clients are fidgeting or they move on you when they're looking at their phone. Not having the sharp top can really save their skin. And I also like the finish for kind of the smoothness that it gives the nail in prepping for this no file fill. So starting with a nice light pressure, we are only taking off what we need. I want to emphasize that we want to leave healthy product. I'm using a nice light pressure. Just kind of pulling towards myself. Maybe getting rid of that old apex. Taking off any excess product. Looking from all angles. You could also use a sanding band at this point, and some technicians really like to use a sanding bit to actually continue their prep at this point, removing the shine and the growth area. But I'm going to use an On Vogue file today and just getting rid of that excess dust before we do so. And just starting to work around that cuticle area. We have already pushed and nipped for this client today. Just starting to remove that shine. Now, keeping in mind, we are leaving all healthy products. So if there was lifting, of course, you would have to tend to it and make sure that it is gone before going on with any product. What's important about the prep in this technique is that the nail is exactly where we want it to be for the final product. So you want to take into account your shape and your length before any product goes down. So once I have that prepped, I'm going to take down some length, and we're just going to make sure that shape is where we want it. Notice how I'm just kind of going around the perimeter, leaving all of this alone. Because it's healthy product and there's no lifting, I'm not going to file it off just to put product back on. This is also part of efficiency and saving money as far as your product use and your time. So I'm going to pick up that E-file again and just take some length down. Checking from all angles that it is straight. I may flip the hand gently and look from this view to see what the client sees. Once you have a nice straight free edge, I would turn it back around. Make sure those sidewalls are nice and straight. Maybe soften those corners for the client. This is when you'd want to check in with the client and really make sure that they are happy with the shape and length, because this is going to be your final outcome, what they see right now. So I take a little bit of extra time and I really prep this to where I want it to be and make sure that they are happy. Softening those edges and really fine-tuning your shape. Another thing I will do is clean under the nail with a small bit so that that is all taken care of by the time we get to the end. So again, just gently flipping the hand and sneaking under their free edge. Always be mindful that there is a hyponychium under there and clients may be sensitive. So err on the side of caution and check in with your client as you run along that free edge. Once that's nice and tidy, quick dust brush, and we'll take a look at the prepped nail. So as you can see, all healthy product is remaining, and it's not a flat nail by any means. Just in the cuticle area here, we've really tried to make sure it is a properly prepped nail. And I often get asked, what is a properly prepped nail? It's making sure that there is no oil, no shine left behind, no lifting whatsoever, and that it is ready for your next step. Once your nail is prepped, we are going ahead with our prep and clean to remove any bacteria, leftover oils, and to prepare for the following product. With a lint-free wipe, we're just cleansing the nail plate before we follow with Connect. To start our next product, an option would be Super Bond. This is our air drying bonding agent. It is an acid-free bonder, and it really just helps with adhesion. It's great for the clients that might be prone to lifting or in a lot of water, gardening, cooking, and it is a liquidy product that dries in about 30 seconds that is optional before your Connect. Our Simply Connect is like a double-sided sticky tape. It is your prep product before any gel follows. Be sure to brush the excess off of your brush before going on to the freshly prepped nail. In a nice push and pull motion, we are headed towards the cuticle without touching, covering the entirety of the nail in a nice thin coat and curing for 60 seconds. So now that our Connect is cured, we'll be going in with our Simply Blush Medium Build. This is a wonderful product because it has a little bit of that self-leveling kind of characteristic, but not too much. It's not runny like honey. It just kind of settles for you as you're working, making it a perfect product for this no-file fill. Now, as you can see, we don't need a lot of product because we had a lot of healthy product left behind. So keeping that in mind when we go ahead with this medium build, because what we kind of accomplish here will be our finished look. Also keeping in mind that it is a little bit of a self-leveling gel. So when I apply it, I always keep a perimeter from the skin and cuticle area, because as you're working, it might start to settle, well it will, and you don't want it in the skin by the time you get it in the light. So keeping a little bit of a perimeter in your application will give you some time to fuss with the product and get it exactly where you want it before curing. Another thing I do is I only work one finger at a time when using this technique, so that by the time it gets in the light, it hasn't moved on you, which would cause, picking up the file before top coat, which is what we're trying to avoid. Going in with a pea-size bead, I'm dropping it about a quarter way down the nail, as you can see there. And we're keeping that perimeter, and I'm just gently kind of pressing into the top of the gel to take it from left to right in that cuticle area, keeping a perimeter, before I start working it down the rest of the nail. Okay, I like to fill that cuticle area first, and then I really just use the excess of whatever's left to brush out onto the rest of the nail, because we really left all of that healthy product. There's barely any needed towards the free edge. So just kind of sweeping out the excess there. And I kind of use the side of my brush to create this line of connection to help pull the product into, where I want it. I really like this brush the most from the On Vogue line because of its tapered oval shape and its short handle. It really helps you grab product where you want to without, connecting to areas you didn't mean to hit. I know when I'm using a bigger brush, that can really be a challenge. And now I'm really being mindful to look from every angle, left and right, and before I cure, I might even, flip the hand or look from another angle so that there's no surprises when it comes out of the light and we are truly happy and ready to seal. So take your time here. And you make up the time that you spend by that little bit more, tedious prep and product application because we don't file after. You're also saving your body. I would have fills out in 40 minutes with this technique once you become, familiar with it and really get the technique down. It can be a huge time and money save. Just using the edge of the brush, barely connecting to the product to fine tune. I actually like to use the reflection of the light to tilt it, and it will reveal in the product if there's any dips or valleys before curing. And it's self-leveling for you. So you'll notice now it's starting to go into the perimeter quite nicely, even though when I applied it, I left some space. So it settled into place just right by the time I'm ready to cure. And we'll go ahead for a 60-second cure. Now here's our finished nail coming out of the light after curing. And you can see that we're ready for top coat, and we've rebalanced and filled. Now in the case that it didn't come out as you'd hoped, you could go ahead with a quick wipe of Prep and Clean. You could grab your file, or if it's just a buff needed, the gray sponge board is a great option just to further refine that work or maybe catch any sharp points. But if you are happy with it, the beauty of this technique is just being able to go ahead with your top coat. So today we are using our Simply Shine, which is by far my favorite top coat, applying a semi-thick layer. By no means do we want it pooling into the cuticle area, but we do want a, nice amount to last the client the next 3-4 weeks. Capping that free edge, checking for any product in the cuticle before going ahead with a 60-second cure. Okay, so once we've finished our 60-second cure with our Shine top coat, our nail is complete. If you're ever using a tack-free top coat like Shine or our No Wipe, we do suggest just letting the top coat rest for a moment before going ahead with your cuticle oil of choice. And just applying to the cuticle area. A super efficient no file fill, really maximizing your time versus money and getting extra clients in every single day. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you learned something, and hopefully a skill you can take into your business and maximize your time versus your money. If you have any questions or comments, pop them below. Whether you're watching live or you're tuning in later, we will respond to you and make sure they are answered. If you're wanting more education and more support with the On Vogue products, they now have an amazing platform called the On Vogue PRO education. It's free completely, online and at your own pace. You will receive a certificate upon successful completion, and it's just full of really supportive, highly skilled educators sharing their knowledge. So do check that out and follow along with the rest of our educators who will be sharing their tips, tricks, skills, techniques in the series to come. And let us know what you think. Thank you for tuning in.